Wait. Hold on. Wait. 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 Everybody stop talking. Everybody. I fixed that. That looks right. You know, if there's a spelling mistake, someone will just call me out on it, and then I'll fix it, and then be stupid. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be back. It is great to be back, and it is a great day and a great time to be back. It is Monday. It is June 22nd, 2026, 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm back in the saddle with another episode of Free Refill. This is episode number 67. Oh, fucking whatever. It's the 67th episode. Congratulations. It happened again. Oh my gosh, the segment reached 67 episodes. Everyone needs to freak out right now. I know you're hitting it. I'm not gonna do it. I won't do it. I will not hit it. But I got a lot of stuff to catch up on today. A lot of things to get into. Of course, the World Cup has been going on. That's been incredibly entertaining. Geno Smith having a not-so-great Father's Day. Dusty May getting hired as the Mavs head coach. The Giannis trade saga literally trying to drag out to, like, the last possible second. Like, I swear it's going to be one of those things that happens at midnight, and we just are like, oh, yeah, that's fairly obvious, of course. My Phoenix Suns have been making some good moves in free agency. There's been a lot going on. I mean, Spain had a huge, 4-0 against Saudi Arabia. They look fantastic. They definitely bounced back for sure. And of course, Lionel Messi having, a fantastic start to the World Cup. And I got to be honest, I think putting the GOAT soccer player debate in its crib, it is, I think it is 100%, it's dead. I think it's dead. Personally, I think it's dead. But we're going to get into that. And Aaron Wiggins being sent down to the Atlanta Hawks for 2 second-round picks. I mean, that's looks like a good get for them. We got a bunch of stuff to get into. So we're going to be getting into all that within the next hour. So if you want to stick around for that, please, by all means, come on in, and I'll be talking about it all today here on this episode of Free Refill, the 67th episode of the Free Refill. So appreciate y'all, and let's just jump right into it. The first thing I wanted to kind of get into is that hiring of Dusty May being hired as the Mavs head coach. As we all know, after 5 seasons with the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd has been let go after going, actually, believe it or not, a perfect 500. He was 205 and 205 over 5 seasons, which, I mean, hey, something for, I don't know if that's the most consistent thing or the most inconsistent thing. But, at that point, I think, what's weird about Jason Kidd is I don't think Jason Kidd, I think he's going to get not that he's going to get a bad rap, but obviously being associated with Nico Harrison in just about any way is not going to be great for your long-term career as a head coach, even if Jason Kidd has had a great career in the NBA. But in terms of being a head coach, I think it's very hard to shake off the disaster that kind of happened in Dallas, leading into getting Cooper Flag. And now, moving forward, I think this was just needed. This needed to happen. I think this was something that needed to happen. Jason Kidd needing to be moved off of for Dallas to kind of internally reset. Reset past the Nico Harrison debacle. Reset past Luka being traded to the Lakers. And I think especially now, looking at how they moved off of Luka, they moved off Jalen Brunson, right? And seeing how great a player Luka is, obviously, and then seeing Jalen Brunson win a championship. I think part of that, it definitely factors into we need to find a way to culturally reset. And of course, Brunson won the championship after Kidd's firing. But at this point, it was very clear Dallas is still kind of in the thick of what was previously done before. They still haven't fully moved past that era of Nico Harrison, the era in which that went disastrously wrong for the Dallas Mavericks. And now with Dusty May as head coach, I mean, listen, it's a great hire. I mean, in terms of a college coach you could go get, there's not really a better one that you could hire to put into an NBA position. I mean, just now winning a national championship and being the coach right before the draft, coming into the Mavs and saying, hey, look, we might be in a position to nab one of these other Michigan players, right? Like being put in that position, I mean, you got to admit it puts things, I think it puts things a lot into perspective. And if we're looking at the NBA draft order, if we're looking at the order of the draft right now, I mean, shoot, Mavs at 9. Who's to say they don't grab one of his guys from Michigan? Who's to say they don't consider like a Mara in that spot or a Lendeborg in that spot? Even if they do have the strengths at those positions in some cases, like obviously you would feel like they might have the strength with Cooper Flag there. Who's to say, Dusty doesn't go out and grab one of his former Michigan guys? I feel like it's very readily apparent that is likely something that Dallas does after bringing him in. And look, if anybody, the guy who just won a national championship, as well as the guy who propelled FAU of all college organizations to a Final Four appearance, this is a guy that you can get to not just turn around the fate of a franchise, but also is in a great position because it's not like he has nobody, right? He has the number 1 pick of last year in Cooper Flag. He's also going to have, like, you presume hopefully Kyrie will be back healthy. You presume you'll be able to get some other pieces. But if you look at what the Mavs are now, I mean, that's not the worst roster you can be going into this with. I mean, right now, Derek Lively, certainly not bad at the center position. Cooper Flag is, I mean, the number 1 overall pick and is bound to get better, right? And if you can add a young player with the 9th overall pick, that puts you in a very good spot to land one of your Yaxels, one of your, or like the center that played at Michigan, right? You can land one of his guys and bring it together and kind of say, okay, this can work. This can 100% work in Dallas. I just don't, if you were going to go the college route in terms of hiring a head coach, there really isn't a better one to go with. I mean, I was looking into this, like he was the last straight from college to NBA head coach since the Cavs did it in 2019. I forget his name though. His name's, I'm gonna blank on his name like right away, and it's gonna be like, well, I don't remember that at all. But I mean, regardless, right? You end up being in this. Where was it? Why do I not even see it now? I swore I had seen it. Yeah, it was in here. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. I swear. Yeah, John Bellion. That's also former Michigan head coach, which is kind of crazy. It's actually the last 2 guys were both Michigan guys. I think it's going to be a move that works. I think overall, Dallas is much. I mean, they're very well positioned. It's not like they have nobody on the roster. They have not just Cooper Flag, but they do have some nice overall pieces around them. Now, that being said, I don't expect Dallas to be a playoff team this year. I don't. I think they'll be closer to a play-in team than anything else. But I think in year 3 of Cooper Flag, I think this Dallas team is going to be doing things. I think they're going to be back to that kind of feisty 4 or 5 seed that can go on a deep run. I think they're much closer to that than they were before Jason Kidd. And I think moving off Kidd, as painful as it is, it was a bad season. They only won 26 games. And to be honest, yes, Kidd had some deep runs, but overall, pretty painfully average at just 500. They needed to clear out the air. If we're going to be talking about, we need to move off Nico. We need to move off the mess that was with Luka. We need to move off of that, bring in somebody who can reset or redefine the culture. Dusty May's the right guy to do it. So, I mean, I think it's a crazy good hire, all things considered. But I'll be interested. I'll be interested to see how quick the Mavs development is, because it might take a while. It could be overnight. It may take a full season, but I'm very excited to see where the development and the culture for that Mavs team moves and how they're going to move past even still now the Luka trade, because it still feels after 2 years, even with this hire, that it does affect them to a certain extent. I see Marcus is out in the chat. Marcus, appreciate you pulling up. Catching up on all things sports, man. Got a lot of stuff to catch up on, especially with the World Cup and all this stuff going on. So I appreciate you pulling out. Marcus saying Detroit telling Luka and Lakers not to talk to Jalen Duren. Interesting, really. That kind of that's hilarious. If that's true, that's hilarious. But I mean, Luka's already been very. I mean, you got to feel, you got to feel a little bit for DeAndre Ayton, especially considering, Luka's like, we need a much bigger and stronger center. There's no way they're going to be able to pull away Jalen Durham though. They don't have, unless they were to, maybe if they like do a weird sign and trade by moving Austin Reeves, but that presumes you're keeping LeBron, which I don't think they're going to do. Like, I think as good as AR-15 is, I think the best thing to probably do is to go ahead and say, why not move Austin Reeves to try to get a big center and then a little more compensation outside of that? I don't know. Detroit needs a shooter. And honestly, with Duran's performance in the playoffs, it wouldn't be unreasonable to see Austin Reeves in Detroit and then Jalen Duran into the Lakers. That'd be pretty funny to see. Mark is also saying, if a coach went from high school head coach to NBA head coach, would he be LeBron? I mean, he'd be LeBron, but he'd also have to be really good at the NBA. Like, what do you have to be doing as a high school head coach to be able to go straight from high school to the NBA? Like, what kind of drills do you have to be doing? How good does your team also, by the way, has to be like straight up historic. Like, your team should be winning by like at least 100 every game. And then also dropping 200 points in like a few games. Like, it has to be a historic level of play. And then at that point, it's probably like you would need to compound like an absolute all-star team of a roster and then also just coach them incredibly well at the high school level. Like, I don't think it's possible. If he were, you know what? And unfortunately, even if that were the case, if like, let's say a high school coach goes straight to the NBA, I don't think he's good. Like, I think he's fired after 2 years. I don't think he's a good head coach. Because a team that would hire someone like that would be like Sacramento. And Sacramento's just not the place to succeed for just about anybody. So yeah, I don't think I could realistically do that. Jay saying crusty dusty ahead. Oh wait, shoot, Jay's in the chat. Let me get Jay in here with an applause. Appreciate you, Jay. I got so hyped I had to read it right away. Crusty dusty, a headline you will see. It will be. Every coach is gonna have like a nickname. Like, if Mike Brown somehow blew a 3-1 lead to the Spurs, it would be like Mike Brown just pants or something like that. Like, I don't know. There's always gonna be some sort of name or like nickname for a head coach that's gonna completely crap all over him. They all exist. Gosh, I think with that being said though, Crusty Dusty 100% is gonna do very well in Dallas. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that. I think for somebody who's a national champion, for somebody who did what he did at FAU, like, every program he touches has gotten significantly better than what they were before. And what's weird is that even coming out of college, it feels weird for him to come out of college at all, but his reasoning was like, oh, the college landscape is so much different now, and he doesn't rock with what the college landscape is, so he's going to the NBA, which is weird because I feel like the NBA landscape is, I'm going to be honest, worse. Maybe it's different from a coaching perspective, but as like somebody who watches both, college does feel a little bit like significantly more entertaining. But maybe there's something he knows that I don't. There's probably a lot he knows that I don't. But it's certainly interesting. Down with Brown, UPS is hiring after Knicks blow series lead. That would have been the headline, exactly. If they had blown, like, could you imagine how heartbreaking that would have been? I know I'm a Knicks hater, but my gosh, if the Knicks were to find a way to lose that finals at that point in the series, being like, if OG has that comeback, if they come back and then somehow blow the series lead, like, and lose the series, it would have been ridiculous. Jay said NCAA used to be about the love, not NIL. Yeah, well, 100%. It's not the same league anymore, especially with the way NIL builds things. Granted, I'll say this: I think NIL has definitely allowed for larger schools to get better faster. So I think what's going to end up happening is a lot of the lower single-digit seeds are going to be much better. But the talent disparity, like, the further you go down the double-digit seeds, the further disparity is going to be, and you are going to likely lose a lot of those upsets. That being said, though, I don't think as many one seeds will be winning championships. Obviously, I know Michigan just did. But I think there is still very much room for other seeds to make real runs and knock off one seeds. Like for Florida to be losing in the second round, I think more one seeds at like over like an extrapolated period of time. We're gonna see more one seeds get upset in the second round over time. I just think it's going to be significantly more common. Just because again, like the reason being is because yes, presumably one seeds are going to beat the 16 seed, but if you go up against that 8 and 9, whoever that 8 or 9 seed that wins is usually very good. And especially now, like with Michigan losing Dusty May, it's already really hard to repeat as national champs in March Madness, but B, to not have the same coach to bring it back and do it, and to mention a lot of your guys are going up into the draft, like, yeah, you're probably going to be in a tough position you're losing May, you're losing the center Mara, it is Mara, right? Am I crazy? Or do I keep getting his name wrong? I feel like I always get his name wrong. Michigan's. What's his name? Is it Mara? It is. It's Ade Mara. I also was like I get confused because I think there's a Y. I think it's Maya, but it's Ade Mara. So. But yeah, I mean, Michigan's just going to be so much worse. It's just going to... Well, not so much worse. They'll still be good, but I mean, they're not winning it again next year. It's going to be very hard for them to do that with how many guys they're going to be losing. And then, of course, losing the head coach. It's just going to matter significantly. Jay saying, as a coach, you like shut down the medical science lab. The money can go to 5-star Tyrone Bowers. Listen, man. Maybe. I mean, sure, like, that's true. That is true. I agree with you that, like, a lot of the stuff that's going to end up happening at those schools, a lot of that money is going to end up going to like, athletes doing it. But also, I'm for the advocate, and this is where I advocate, where this should be easier to do. I feel like, at a certain level, I think there needs to be business models, such as, like, let's take Gatorade, for example. Like, you should be able to sign... A lot of that money can't come from necessarily the school, right? Like, I think the school should be less involved in buying these players, and really it should be other companies that are just near the school. Like, I'll give you, like, if there's, like... Let's take, for example, like... I don't know. What's, like, a brand... I won't use, like, a sports brand, for example, but let's say there's, like, I don't know, like Frank's Hot Dogs. Frank's Hot Dogs is based like near Wichita State. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's say it is. Let's say it's based near Wichita State, and it's like, hey, great prospect. Come play for us, and you can be sponsored by Frank's Hot Dogs. Like, that would be a better way of doing it, where you have players that are kind of associated with random brands, which I think is kind of funny, and then just get them to play for those teams. Like, I think that is a little bit of a better way. My kid got into Stanford University, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Yeah, but I mean, like, see, Coca-Cola, like, that's the thing. People want, like Coca-Cola. But, like, let's say if it was, like, Mug Root Beer, sponsoring some kid to play for, like, High Point would be kind of cool conceptually, right? And, I mean, no matter what school, like, some of these, especially these larger corporations pick, they're not really ever going to fail. Like, yeah, some of them will probably lean like Duke or Michigan, but I mean, you could realistically, spin a wheel, and like 95% of the time, no matter who you land on, if you're able to get some stud to go there, then yeah, they're gonna go there. But I mean, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, but at the same time, I think there will be, and I also think, I'll say this too. I think the way this is going to go, in my opinion, is the lower seeds, and it'll take time, but the lower seeds will just need to adjust to what NIL is. And I think there will be upsets again. Like, there will be it's currently like compounded at the top, but eventually it will start to disperse out, and we'll see talent start to flow back to some of those other teams as NIL is still implemented. And they'll make it better. Like, the whole point is that no matter what, the NCAA benefits from as many of their games being as good as possible, right? So if they think that there are some of their games that are all of a sudden not worth watching, and they see NIL continuing to have that effect, eventually they will course correct if they think the product is getting significantly worse. But the reality is, there were still some great games last year in March Madness. March Madness was still highly electric last year. You got to see a lot of the best teams play. And listen, sometimes it's what it is. Like, yes, everybody loves the run. Everybody loves the run to get there. But the understanding is when you get down to probably the Final Four or the Elite Eight teams, you really want to see the best teams. I think, like, especially when we talk about, like number one, Michigan just kind of blew through everybody. Like, there was really no, but like seeing like UConn versus Illinois, 2-3, that game was very impressive. Seeing what UConn was able to do against like Duke, right? Seeing those matchups are still like incredible. Like, we had an incredible run of March Madness games. And yeah, maybe NIL had an influence on that, but it still doesn't change the fact that that was very impressive. That's what it is. It was incredible. It was very impressive. Well, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But all in all, back to the Mavs. Dusty May, I think, is going to be a good head coach. I think he's going to work out. Now, I need to pull something else up before. I need to do this real quick. Hold on. Let me pull up this real quick. I need to pull this up because I need to make my point. Because, for those, okay, I have it right now. All right, excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, the World Cup's currently going on right now. And Lionel Messi now has 18 World Cup goals. That is a record. That is a record. And now this might come as, now personally, I'm a little bit of a casual fan most of the time in terms of soccer. I played it as a kid. In terms of knowing all of like the deep rosters and all the different clubs and all that, I don't know a whole lot. That being said, based on what I witnessed while I was at work, tuning in occasionally to Argentina versus Austria, and watching what Messi did in round one, watching what Messi was able to do against what was it? Who's it against? Watching what they were able to do against who was it? No, it was freaking against Algeria. That's who it was. But I forgot. Seeing what Messi was able to do in this World Cup, now having 18 World Cup goals, that is a record. Seeing what he did against Algeria, seeing what he did against Austria, and knowing who he is as a player overall in general, I think it is official to say the GOAT for who the best is in soccer is over. That conversation is dead. It died inside AT&T Stadium. It died with IShowSpeed's reaction to Messi's 2 goals. It was gonzo. It was done. It was chopped. Over. End. Finito. Sorry, Pele. Sorry, Maradona. Sorry, Ronaldo. It's not close. This man is insane. This man is an 8-time Ballon d'Or. He's a 2022 World Cup champion. He has been named the best FIFA men's player 4 times. He is a 4-time champion, Champions League champion. He's a 2-time Copa America winner. And I'm sure the accolades do not end there. But it does not take, and it doesn't even take all those accolades. It takes an eye test. You watch the game, people watch the game all across the world where he missed a penalty kick. He missed it. Just straight up missed the penalty kick. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Made 18 goals World Cup. Misses 1 penalty kick. Doesn't matter. Story. Who cares? It's done. It's not close. The gap was already far before. The gap is now insurmountable. There's not a single player who can do it. And the craziest part about this, as somebody who is a casual fan of soccer, because I am big casual. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy watching it, but I'm a big casual. I didn't even know this till probably last week. I didn't even know Messi was younger than Ronaldo. I thought Ronaldo was the younger one. That might just be because Messi has a beard, has facial hair. I don't know. But I always thought that Messi was the older one in comparison to Ronaldo. Ronaldo's 41, Messi's 38. It ain't close. It's just not a fair fight. It is Messi and the field. And it's not close. And anybody who wants to contend that it's close, I'm sorry. You're wrong. You're just wrong. It's not close. You can have your personal preferences, it's fine. But when it comes down to who the best soccer player of all time is, it's number 10. It's not close. Nobody comes remotely close to touching him. Players have to play for 7 or 8 years to come close to him, and no one's gonna get there. And if he wins the World Cup this year with Argentina, back to back, see ya. No one ever gets there. No one for the rest of time, for the rest of humanity, is gonna get to where Messi is. There's nobody. There's nobody close enough. There will never be. And it sounds like glaze, but it's not. That's the crazy thing. It's not glaze. It's just the truth. Nobody's on the same level. Nobody's ever been on the same level. Already started the World Cup, has 5 goals already. It's insane. It's wild. It's nuts. But the debate is over. I mean, even when you see it, like knowing, like I don't know if any of you have seen the reactions of Speed. Just he had like a crate, like he straight up did a backflip when Messi misses his penalty kick. He was freaking out. He was so excited. Messi scores those next 2 goals. You can watch his reaction. It looks like he witnessed a murder. It looks like he witnessed someone die in the streets. Like he made it look like it was just over. I don't even know. I don't even have like a good comparison. He looked like a soul left his body. Messi's incredible. You could argue you could argue for best athlete of all time, which is crazy. I mean, it's not really. When you're the best of all time in your own sport, you can obviously be argued for best athlete of all time. But I mean, good Lord, I can't, man. It's too crazy. I mean, it's just such a gap. I don't think, honestly, I'd make the argument. There's probably maybe not. I don't know who's number 2 past Gretzky. I don't even know the name. But also, I'm not crazy, but I'm like not crazy into the NHL where I would know like top 10 NHL players all time. But I gotta say the gap feels pretty wide between Messi and the field. It feels wider than anything else. I see Jack Russell in the chat. Appreciate you, Jack. Jack saying 18 goals ain't nothing. Called ice at Gillette. Got 18 deported at MetLife. Another 18. Messi got nothing on me. Dang, bro, he got them. He got them all. But I say it, man. I said it. I even have it in the title in the ticking up top is that the soccer GOAT debate was found dead inside AT&T Stadium. It's over. There's just no one. There's not a player that comes remotely close. The closest, I don't even think the closest is Ronaldo. I think probably the closest is Pele. After that, though, no. It's gone. It's just not. There's not a better player. I mean, I'm still flabbergasted because I genuinely thought on both of them that their ages were flipped. I thought Ronaldo was the younger one. I thought Ronaldo was in his late 30s and Messi was past and was in his 40s. That's what I thought. I am just straight up wrong. And if Messi and Argentina go on to win the World Cup again, I gotta say, it's curtains. The greatest soccer player of all time will officially be crowned. And there's no arguing it. There's nothing anybody can argue. It would be over. It would be done. Done like dinner. Done like dinner, cooked, fried, threw it in a backpack, sent it over cliffside, see ya. The debate's done. I don't think anybody, like, nobody can, who would even come close? Who would even be able to get on top of that mountain? I just don't think there is anybody. I don't think there's anybody that can get up there. It feels like it's an impossible thing to climb. On the topic of the World Cup, two other things. Number one, Cape Verde. Cape Verde has been insane. Cape Verde has been fun. Like, my dad is a huge geography buff. He knows so much about geography. He knows where a lot of places were. He was stationed out in it was in Iraq. He was out in Iraq for deployment when I was really little and I was a baby. So he knows all about like geography and things like that. He had no idea where Cape Verde was, and I had to guess. And some people don't even know. It's like a small bunch of islands off the far coast of West Africa, and how they are doing this. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, I watch and I'm like, there's This team is like, when you want to talk about a team that is, we're using the power of friendship, it feels like Cape Verde is doing that. Like, it just does. I mean, again, to be able to do what they, like, first of all, drawing Spain already, if they had only done that, that would have been wild. Now they're drawing Uruguay. And again, like, they took the lead in this game, they lost the lead, they got it back. They drew it up again. And it's like, holy cow. They shouldn't be doing this. Cabo Verde. Why did I say it's Cape Verde? It's Cabo. Oh my god, I'm stupid. I keep forgetting which one it is. Hold on. Boop. There we go. I mean, it's insane. It's crazy. They got no business. Like, absurd. Like, oh, yep, yeah, we just casually draw Spain. Oh, now we casually. They're probably, I'm gonna be real, they're probably gonna, I think they'll beat Saudi Arabia. This is my guess. My guess is they probably beat Saudi Arabia just straight up and win that one. So, I mean, holy cow. I mean, obviously what Spain did to Saudi Arabia, like, yeah, they obviously bounced back and played very well. But you gotta give credit to this like, basically, it's an island nation. It's just a bunch of islands off the coast of West Africa. It's apparently, I imagine it's beautiful there. I imagine just being out essentially in the middle of the ocean's got to be pretty cool. But dude, this is nuts. This is an insane thing. I gotta say that's got to be one of the funner stories of the World Cup as well. It's just Cabo Verde just doing their thing, and also the men's team. Like, the U.S. men's team has actually been the men's team. I just say the men's team, like, oh yeah, like, I know who we're all talking about. They're all men. U.S. men's team's been good too. I mean, shoot, beating Australia. I mean, shoot, man. I mean, they're already 2-0. They're already determined for the round of 32. So that's going to be the start of July. They just got to play Turkey to determine their seeding, but who they play. I mean, 4-1 on Paraguay, 2-0 on Australia. Then they're playing. This is shape. Like, obviously, the World Cup's always going to shape up to be very good. It would take like whatever the opposite of a miracle is. Like, what would be a miracle in the bad sense? A disaster. It would take a disaster for the World Cup to somehow not be good. It's already so exciting. Jack saying, more impressed with the Japan team and the fans cleaning everything up. Really? Like, is it? Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They're. I mean, the Japan team's also been really impressive too. I mean, shoot. It's drawing the islands, but then a 4-0 win over Tunisia. And then playing Sweden. I mean, whew. Dude, I gotta say, the World Cup is just such a fascinating. It's always been very fascinating to me. I wish I was more into, like, the club soccer and being able to understand, like, what goes on there. I really don't. I really don't have as much insider knowledge as to what goes on day to day in those leagues or in those club games. But I gotta say, it is wildly impressive to see what all these teams are doing. I mean, it's so much fun watching the World Cup. I like it legit. Like, that's what I had on. I had Argentina playing against Austria on my computer at work. Straight up, it was a Monday. Like, what am I gonna do? You gonna tell me I'm gonna do something else? Yeah, right. How can you not? You gonna watch greatness. You gotta watch greatness. You gotta watch one of the best sports in the entire world. I mean, I say it as someone who has played it. It is probably. I also say it as somebody in general. I think what makes soccer so great too, in comparison to a lot of other sports, the concept is probably the simplest thing ever. Like, obviously there are rules in soccer, but genuinely it's a giant field. You pass the ball around, you get it in a goal. And you can't touch it with your hands. Like, that's it. Like, obviously there's, like, other rules. There's, like, offsides, tackling, yada, yada. But, like, it feels so much like such a natural sport to learn as opposed to everything else. Like, yeah, we have, like, football here in the United States, but that takes conceptually explaining football or even explaining something like basketball. Like, is also, like, but I feel like soccer's just, I don't know. Soccer's got a certain way of just being super explainable and the super simple premise. I think that's why it's so popular, really. I think it's just really simple. It's simple to understand. It's simple for people to get involved. Like there's very little rules. It's like kick this ball, get it in the goal, don't touch it with your hands. Those are the three. Like that's what it is. So wow, I'm excited to see the rest of the World Cup though. So that's all I got for that. But I need to get into my argument that yeah, Messi's just the greatest. Messi's the GOAT straight up. Brainy from Hey Arnold popping up in the chat. Saying the World Cup is all governmental propaganda. You think teams like Iran, Saudi Arabia are coming back alive if they lose? Wow, that's crazy. I don't know, man. I don't know, Brain. I'm not gonna answer that. I don't know if I can answer that. I'll say conceptually the World Cup is great. What's not great is FIFA. FIFA sucks. I hate FIFA as an organization in general. They are like people think it's bad in like the NBA. No, FIFA's an awful organization. Like, they are so unbelievably, wildly petty. Like, what is it? They had a game at Levi's Stadium. They had to cover up the Levi part of the stadium because they did not want Levi getting free promotion because they didn't pay. Even though that's the name of the stadium. That's the point. You name the stadium so you can use the advertising. Like, that's the point of the stadium, right? And it's happening all the time. Like, so much. And then what else happened? There was something going on. I watched this short. There was something going on in Texas, in Arlington, right? There's like this building. There's this building. It's got a big, like, it had like a big mural of, I want to say it was like whales or something. It was like this very cool giant mural that was on the side of the building. Guy painted it for free like 27 years ago. FIFA was coming in and just straight up painted over it and gave the guy who painted it like freaking no notice whatsoever. Like, this is like absurd. Like, they do this all the time. And it's like, what's the point? Like, we got to do all this much. Like, why? If you are, think about it, right? World Cup, soccer, by far the most internationally recognizable sport, most internationally recognizable, like, thing in general is the World Cup in every single country. You come to the United States, what's the point of, like, changing all this stuff? It's Alice Munoz, 20 years old. The artist got Key to the City for it. Exactly. Like that. And they just painted over it. And now the guy's basically suing. I think he's starting a lawsuit, is my understanding. What did FIFA do to Gillette? I was gonna look that up. But like, it's so absurd. Yeah, they forced Gillette to hide its corporate logos at Gillette Stadium because Gillette is not an official tournament sponsor. As a result, the venue was temporarily renamed Boston Stadium. Rather, yeah, FIFA told Gillette to cover up its logo because it wasn't an official World Cup sponsor. Gillette responded by turning it into a giant blob of shaving foam. That's crazy. Oh, is it? Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, it's AI. Man, that's whack. Is that what it is? It's not actually legit? Is this peak? Oh, it's not real. That's tough. But they definitely, that's absurd that they just covered it up. Like, I don't get that. Like, who cares? You are making probably like tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars on this event anyway. Do you really care if someone's going to get free promotional material? Like, what? You're probably spending more money to cover up the logo than you are just letting it sit there. Like, what are we doing? It makes no sense. It's diabolical to me. Why on earth would FIFA ever make that call? Like, imagine all the work you're doing to cover up all these logos. How much money are you spending doing that when you can just literally just let it be there and it doesn't cost you a penny? Like, you're petty as hell. Like, what? Hello? Am I stupid? Does this not make sense? Like, imagine doing that. You're losing money just to make sure other people don't get money. This is like schoolyard lunch table shenanigans. You are not in middle school. Just get over yourself. You do not need to be covering up logos and wasting your own resources. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's asinine, really. It's such a waste of time. You wanted to use those venues in the first place. You were coming knowing you were going to use those venues. Like, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous concept. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. Artists is suing for $250 million using a law that came about in NYC when the city whitewashed murals. Good. And FIFA should pay out every single dime and more of that because they can afford it. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so stupid to me. And yet, when I went to go that video, I got people defending FIFA. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing bootlicking a $1 billion organization? The organization is going to do absolutely jack shit for you, and you were bootlicking in the comments section with a empty profile picture. Brother, it pissed me off so much. Like, people do not, in no way, shape, or form should they be using, they got to use their brains. They can't just keep bootlicking this giant soccer league organization that doesn't actually do anything. It's insane. Spending legitimate money to go out and cover up logos? You're wasting time. You're just wasting time. You're wasting time, you're wasting money, and you're pissing everybody off. I would fire people if they were making a decision. And gone. Rejected. See ya. Out the door. Later. You're wasting time trying to cover up logos. Doesn't make any sense. Brainy says, is okay, FIFA? I have a sex tape coming out with a woman from every country representative with game action in the background. That's okay. That's pretty nice and wild. Yeah. That's pretty unbelievable. I just, again, the fact of the matter that FIFA is so petty in that regard to not only come into the United States and use those stadiums, but also be in this position where they decide, yeah, we're going to waste precious time and money to cover up these logos. It just doesn't make sense. It's an absurd concept. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. And it's crazy to me. They're not paying for it. But yeah, they're not paying for it. But then why are you using the stadium? They're using the stadium in the first place and covering up the logo. They use the stadium. They're covering up the logo. It's making you're spending money to cover up a logo that isn't paying for advertising when you can just, I don't know, either ask them to pay, or better yet, just not cover it up and not waste your own time and money. Stupid, dumb, and doesn't make any sense. Regardless, I'm done for the World Cup for now. I'll be talking about it more as we progress. The point is, FIFA's dumb, and Lionel Messi is the best player in soccer of all time, and it's not even close. There's nobody close.
Go Iraq.
They heard you the first time. Moving off, we got to get into the NBA because I got to talk about my Phoenix Suns because they're my pride and joy. They're my child, and they do a great job. They do a great job, and they've made some nice moves. I got to say, in the past couple days, Colin Gillespie and Jordan Goodwin both got new contracts, which I'm very excited about. Listen, I've had to defend a couple people. Number one, I've had to defend Devin Booker the last couple days for changing his jersey number. Because right now, yeah, him wearing 15, it kind of looks a little auraless. It's not quite the same as the one. He was much better as the one. I like seeing him in the one. I think he was one of the best players wearing number one as his jersey, and I understand to an extent the switch to 15, but I really don't understand that. Like, come on, Devin, with all due respect, it's a little too much like Kobe Bryant. You don't need to be everything like him. You can keep the one for the rest of your career, and it'll probably get retired. You don't need to try to retire two numbers. It's never that serious. So I am gonna miss seeing him in the one. That being said, I'm excited to have us bring Colin back, undrafted out of Villanova. Past 3 years, I mean, listen, he has developed into a genuine player. He has developed into someone who wasn't just a bench player, who was kind of an off-the-bench player, becoming a key role player. I'm hoping he can grow even further next year, potentially into a starting point guard position, which will allow Book to kind of sit there. I mean, obviously Jalen Green right now, probably a better overall player, but in terms of a fit and in the position, I think Colin does a much better job distributing. I think it allows Devin Booker to return to his natural position, the shooting guard, where he was, I mean, especially 4 or 5 years ago when we were on our run against the Milwaukee Bucks all the way to the finals, Devin Booker was playing out of his mind. I mean, he was having 40-point games left and right. I think overall, looking at that and being able to put Booker in his natural position, allow for our younger bigs in the form of Iguodaro, in the form of Kuman Malawak to continue to grow in their roles. I think getting someone like Gillespie, who is going to be able to be a good distributor, and then also keeping Jordan Goodwin as well. Very good off the bench, being able to get made a couple of huge shots, especially in the play-in game against the Golden State Warriors. Very underrated defensively as well. Just solid role players that they need to keep contributing and adding to. And I think it's building what they need to bring back the culture that they had under Monty Williams, where they were able to go on that run. They kind of lost that, and I think they lost a lot of that momentum, especially losing to the Dallas Mavericks. The way that they did, a lot of that, it took a lot out of them. And then when making the desperate attempt to try to get Kevin Durant to be able to fix those problems continue to compound and get worse. And this season was a nice turn away from what could have been much worse. Like, the Suns could have been terrible this year and been like the 14th best team in the West out of 15. And instead, they were able to turn it around, make it in. We're originally the 7th seeded team in the West. Obviously, they lost to Portland in the plan, but they were able to beat Golden State. And then listen, you're playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's only so much you can do against the 1 seed in the West. Given their condition and given that they weren't, again, they're an 8 seed. There's only so much you can do in that position against the defending champs. That being said, I've had to do this. I've had to do this for some ridiculous reasons that I got some people telling me right now that, Jesus, my nose is killing me. I've had some people telling me that somehow, some way, guys, the Suns would be better off if they traded Devin Booker. Asinine discussion that should not be being had by fans who are straight up casuals. Now listen, if you're a casual and just saying that, then that's fine. You're allowed to say it. But the reality is, it doesn't make any sense for multiple reasons. Number one, where everyone's saying, and the people that I've had to talk about this to, is that he would go to Detroit. Detroit's picks are just not going to be nearly good enough, especially if they're coming off of a 1 seed in the East, to be reasonable to go out and get picks and trade for who? What, a different superstar? No, it's not going to happen. They're not just going to do the same exact thing that they would have done when they went and traded for Kevin Durant. It's not going to happen. It's a ridiculous concept. Phoenix is keeping around their role players, and they're going to keep Devin Booker. They're probably going to keep Devin Booker until he would have to force his way out if they were going to reasonably trade him. They're not going to move him. It doesn't make any logical sense. He's still only 30 years old. There have been players who have played well into their 30s for years. This is still a very good... This is a team that is going to improve again in year 2 under Jordan Knott. They will still make other moves. They could still move Grayson Allen sometime soon in the future. It is likely that they will move Royce O'Neal after having one of his best seasons. It's more likely than not that Royce gets moved. It's possible that they move Jalen Green if they hear the right call. But if they are going to trade Devin Booker, they would have done, A, they would have done it already. B, he wouldn't have made his jersey change to 15 now. And C, it's just impractical. Why would you trade your best player when you had a better season than you would have originally anticipated? Just to go back to rebuilding when you do not have first-round picks to benefit from. It is a fruitless effort, and it doesn't make any sense at all. And it's absurd. It's an absurd concept, and no one's going to do it. No one's going to do it. It just is that. Any rational person doesn't move Devin. If there's an irrational person that does, I might lose my mind and not watch basketball for 5 years. But it's just not going to happen. Devin's going to stay, and anybody trying to say otherwise and say it's a good move is out of their damn minds. Out of their minds. And you know who it is, right? You want to know who's telling me all this? It's all these Knicks fans saying, "Oh man, when we made a move for Cat, we moved off Randall." Completely different scenario, completely different expectations. Ridiculous concept. Not gonna happen. No. No way. Not how that works. I just hate having to argue to keep one of the best players. To keep one of the best players on your team. Can you imagine that? Like, oh, hey, your best player? Yeah, you should get rid of him. Like Nick knows ball stuff. There's those slowdowns like, hey, guys, we're the Suns. Let's move Devin Booker for potato chips. Like, no, and oh, no. And we have Bradley Beal in the chat, of course. Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal says, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. No, you're not coming home, Bradley. You're going home, and by home is Washington. You can go to the Wizards and team up with AJ DeBansta. That's what you can do. You can go over there. That's your home. Phoenix, it ain't your home. If anything, it's your op hood. It's your opposition. It's where it is. It's your ops. Phoenix is your ops forever. I'm sorry. I can't not say it. You're going to Washington. You're gonna go back there. You're gonna help AJ DeBansta develop, and you're probably gonna ride the bench. But absolutely, I mean, I'm not even sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, you're riding the bench. You're staying over there. It is what it is. Jesus, unreal, man. I still can't believe that trade went through. I still can't believe we traded for you, man. It's a wild scenario. It's an evil world we live in. And then lastly, I got to wrap this up with one more NBA talking point. One thing that bothers me right now, and I'm going to check my phone just to make sure I didn't miss this at all, because I don't think it's happened. And, yep, checking my phone. Jesus. My nose is, like, super dry. Maybe it's the air. I have no idea. Regardless, why you think Book changed his number? Because, no. Bradley, you ain't even number 3. Bradley, if anything, you number 150. Don't even be like, oh, wow, Book changed number. No. You're not even 15. You 150. You 175. You 167. That's how many you are. No. You're going to be the first player to wear a 3-digit number. That's what I'm hoping, Bradley. I'm sorry. I can't with it. You be the first one wearing a 3-digit number straight up. Ain't no doubt. Last thing before I wrap up the show, I got to talk about it because it was pissing me off today. Why is this still going on? Do you see this man? You see this goofy guy over to my left, Giannis Antetokounmpo? Why is he not traded? Why is he still on the Bucks? Why are we prolonging this? What's the point? Genuinely, what's the point? Why are we doing this? Why are we sitting here like, hey guys, we don't know where he's going. Like, dude, Boston, Miami, freaking, I don't know, New Orleans, OKC, Sacramento. Somebody cough up something. Okay, I'm a little tired of this. Okay, this is by far, like, one of the most dragged out trade requests of all time. And I get it. Giannis is great. No one's denying that. But at this point, man, I'm arguing just stay in Milwaukee. You know what? Like, if it's not done before the draft tomorrow, like, I hope it's done in the next 8 hours. If it's not done in the next 8 hours, I don't think it's happening. I think it's just not going to happen. Giannis just pulls the rug out, says, we're going to run it back one more year. At this point, they tried. They won a championship. They tried to win another. It failed. Leave. Just get out of there. Milwaukee. See, this is different. Unlike Phoenix, where at least Phoenix made the playoffs and figured they can actually get their team turned around, Bucks can't do it. Bucks have Giannis and they still can't do it. They had actually a couple breakout players, like, for example, Ryan Rollins was decent. But no, they can't do it. Giannis has got to go somewhere else, whether it's Miami, Boston, wherever. It honestly doesn't matter. No matter where he goes, that team doesn't win a championship next year. That's my personal opinion. But I don't think they win a championship next year no matter where he goes. He can go to Boston, I don't think they win it. He can go to Miami, they definitely don't win it. He can go to Golden State, they're not going to win it. The only place where he can really go where maybe they can win it next year is like OKC. And even then, what would OKC have to give up? What does OKC have to give up to get Giannis? Maybe that's why they're moving Aaron Wiggins? I don't know. Look, Maybe it's a crazy 4-team trade and Giannis ends up, I don't know, maybe Giannis is in Cleveland. I don't know. But I'm a little sick of this trade. I'm a little sick of this thing that Giannis is playing like, I don't know. It's like, let me put it this way. It would be like if somebody if you're on Thanksgiving and you're sitting next to your friend or your uncle or whatever, he's like, pass the potatoes. And the potatoes are to your left. Like, let's say your uncle, pass the potatoes. Instead of him passing the potatoes that are directly to his right, that he could just pass to his left to you, he instead passes them right and sends them all the way around the table the other side. Why does it need to take so long? This does not need to take this long. This is a very simple concept. This is not a difficult thing to do. It just isn't. It's a very simple thing, and it should have already been done. Like, I don't understand what are the Bucks trying to do? They're trying to play hardball? You done. You got options to play hardball. Because if you don't trade him now, guess what? You're going to be stuck with him for another year, and guess what? You're going to waste another year of Giannis in his prime. Why? Why on earth are we doing that? Just move him. Move him. Move him in the next 8 hours, or I will do it for you. I will legitimately I will email every single person at the Milwaukee Bucks and just say, send him. Send him to poverty at this point. If it takes any more than 8 hours, put him in Brooklyn, put him in Sacramento, put him with the Pelicans, put him with the... actually, if he puts with the Jazz, he might actually not be bad. I don't know. But put him in poverty. Put him at the bottom. Put him at the bottom of somebody that I don't care about. Just do it. Send him to Chicago. Send him to the Bulls. I don't care. But just stop. Stop acting like this should be taking this long. Like, the fact that this trade is taking this long almost makes me feel like Giannis don't even want to leave. Giannis doesn't really want to leave. I think that's what it is. I think Giannis doesn't actually want to leave Milwaukee, and he just doesn't know how to say it. He doesn't know how to say, I don't want to leave Milwaukee. Like, he doesn't want to say it. He doesn't know how to say that he doesn't want to leave Milwaukee, and that's where it is. But I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. Move him. Move him so we can all just move on. I want to move on. I was hoping today to be able to talk about where Giannis is. I want to be able to talk about where Giannis is and move on to the next thing. But instead, I got to talk about how Giannis still hasn't been moved yet. Why? Marcus saying, Brooklyn, they just need to find a way to get a team to take his bum brother as well. But if he gets to Brooklyn, the bum becomes... Is that true? If you just go to... Well, that's the thing about Brooklyn. If you are like a mid-tier player, you become a star. Like, Cam Thomas was a star there for a little bit. Michael Porter Jr. was like, what? The 4th best player on the Nuggets? All of a sudden, he's a star in Brooklyn. Like, it's weird how that works. It's weird how he's... It's just because that's the only... Like, it's so devoid of talent that even like a low-end star goes there and is great. Not even like a low-end star. Just like a high-end piece of a team could go there and look like a star. It's crazy. I could go to Brooklyn and look like a bench player. Hey, that's sadly how devoid of talent they are. It's a darn shame. Listen, I mean, it is what it is. You know, maybe, and you know what? It is kind of sad because if you're Brooklyn, you were maybe hoping for at least the number 2, number 3 overall pick. No, you're 6. You're picking 6, bro. I mean, it's a nightmare. I gotta look at that roster right now just to kind of get a real idea. I mean, at this point, you probably gotta... I mean, yeah, Igor Demon. I mean, Igor Demon maybe could be something, but I mean, folks, it's not looking great. Oh my god, that starting 5 is... You know what? Maybe that'll be my plan. Maybe I'll have to install... Maybe I'll have to... Oh, gosh. I don't want to buy 2K26 unless it's on sale. Let me actually find out if it is or not. Oh, shoot. It's 80% off. That's actually kind of worth it. That might be worth it. 2K26 for what? $15? That's not terrible. How long? Oh, 3 days. I guess I have 3 days to decide. I might have to. How much is it? That's not too bad. $16. I'm going to have to just get 2K and rebuild the nets, I suppose. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Crazy stuff. But anyways, that's all I have for today. This is Free Refill episode 67. Because of course it is. I'm gonna probably I gotta go eat. I gotta go eat dinner. It's like 8 o'clock. I haven't eaten all day, so I'm heading out. It's been my hour. It's been my time. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in as usual. If you enjoyed watching, like, subscribe, the whole thing. I always appreciate it. But yeah, moral of this one was Dusty May should be good, right? Messi's awesome. FIFA in general as an organization sucks, but Messi's the GOAT and it's undisputed. The Suns looking to make some nice moves. I'm happy with what they're doing. And for the love of God, can the Bucks move on from Giannis? Can they just do it already? I'm getting a little sick. Just announced Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Suns along with his brother for Booker. Green deal to be announced official tomorrow. Jay, don't mess with me, bro. Jay, do not rug pull me like that. I will be so angry if that is what happens. If we seriously give up Devin Booker and Jalen Green for his Giannis and his brother, I'm crashing out. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. That is nightmare scenario. I would cry. I would genuinely cry. I would cry tears of sadness. I would let it all out. Don't scare me like that. If that ends up being the case, you might never find me again. I might no longer be on YouTube anymore. Can you imagine? Yeah, I can imagine it right now. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't have to imagine these things, Jay. I lived through what was a Kevin Durant trade. I genuinely hated the Kevin Durant team and Bradley Beal team more than I hated being like being the worst team in the West. I preferred those years over having KD and Bradley Beal. Because at least with those, I expect us to be bad. But with us having Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal and somehow not being able to be anything higher than like the 11th seed in the West the previous year, so bad. So bad, boys. Alrighty. That's all I have for y'all today. I'll be around tomorrow. I'm going to do I think tomorrow's the day I'm going to do my mock draft for the NBA. I'm going to do pretty much all my research while at work. So tomorrow's going to be the day I do my NBA mock draft. So make sure you tune in for that. It'll be around 7 o'clock. So it'll be quite literally an hour before the draft. And then we get to watch the draft and see how completely wrong I am or completely right. I don't know. The NFL draft did not go well. I think I got literally one pick correct, and it was the first one. So I think I only got Fernando Mendoza correct. I think everything else I got wrong. But anyway, I will see you guys. I'll see you guys then. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good night.